Hey everyone, Teresa with Hick-A-Billy LLC. It is December 18th, and hunting season for me is over for the big game. And I was successful with one deer and was hoping to fill the rest of my tags, but the deer I think have internet access or something, because they seem to know where the property boundaries are and they just won't cross those lines. And it was definitely a buck year for me. All we saw were bucks. I have one buck tag, and then I had four doe tags, and the does just weren't showing up in my usual hunting areas, or if they did, they were like right out of boundary. So it was really frustrating this year. But there's next year. I'm just going to keep trying. I've thought about, we do have heritage season, but I don't have a rifle a heritage gun that I can use for heritage season, which is black powder season. And I'd hope that maybe next year I might be able to do that to help extend my season. The other option is archery, which, I used to play with bow and arrows growing up as kids. It's been a very long time since I've touched one. As to whether or not I could even do an ethical shot with an arrow, I'll have to do some practicing. So that's another option that I might do to help give me a longer season to possibly fill my tags, and maybe I might have to travel a bit more, but I kind of was trying to avoid that, especially with gas prices and everything. So but anyway, so I have to procure some other kinds of meats. So I do want to do, it's getting colder now, so rabbit season has been in, typically they say any of the months with an R in it is the best time to do rabbits for, the bugs and the chiggers and fleas and stuff like that they carry. So, when you want to have the colder months. So as it's starting to get cold here, it's a good time to start hunting for rabbits. So I am going to experiment, because I do trapping, but I use the conibear traps, which are the death traps. So I bought some snares. These are for the state of Montana. You could trap rabbit or hunt rabbit and squirrel year round. They are non-game animals. But with your trapping, you're required to have a relaxed snare, and that's what these are. And like I said, I've never done the snares. I kind of actually have been against that, which is why I always did the conibear. If I'm going to trap something, I'd like to do a quick instant kill on my animals. So I've been mostly getting raccoons with those. And the idea of strangling something, although it's supposed to be quick, it doesn't quite sit right with me, but I'm going to do this. And the reason why I'm doing this is one of the things, if I was in a survival need-to situation, I'm not going to have a conibear trap in order to procure food, for hunting or trapping of any kind of animal for food. What I'm going to have is the ability to either bushcraft my own snares, or I have my snares. So I've decided that I have to practice and learn how to do it. I mean, I don't want to wait until a time where I'm starving to decide I need to figure out how to do a snare. So this is my practice while I'm trying to get rabbit for my food and meat for my freezer, even though it's not required. Sorry, I was just putting those down. It's not required for me to need to have some meat. We did purchase half a cow from a person who does not do vaccines and hormones and things like that to his cows. And so I have a clean cow, grass fed. We do not grain feed them. I don't really care for the grain fed. Um, and then I also hunt for deer. And now I'm going to try other forms of animals for food sources. I do raise chickens. I don't normally raise them for meat. I just have them for eggs, but I will be eating my chickens that I don't need, such as the roosters. I don't have any problems with processing out a rooster, or a hen needs to be processed out if I have too many, so not a big deal. But I do also do that. But I would like to um, learn these additional other skills of acquiring food sources. I have made, I don't know, when did I do this? I think it was probably late spring, early summer that this year, 2023, that I had decided that I was not going to eat commercial foods. And So I started gardening again and trying to raise my own food. But here in Montana, a lot of people are having troubles with their gardens growing and producing well. So I did have lots of tomatoes. Um, and Let's see, I did have some peppers and things like that, but not a huge garden, and it wasn't very productive. So I'd like to try and learn wild collectibles, which I already have been doing. I do the wild fruits and stuff, and I've been experimenting with different weeds and things that you eat, like cactus, stinging nettle. What was my favorite? Oh, lamb's quarter is my favorite. Uh, and things like that. So I do want to learn more of that, which I'll be doing some videos to show the different things that I find. So I'm going to, I had already used one of my traps. I have 12 of these sets that came out of my, that I bought. And I put one up in the mountains at a friend's house, and so far it hasn't caught anything. Today's the second day, and I haven't heard from them, so it hasn't caught any rabbits. So I'm going to set the rest of them in another location here closer to my home. And let me show you this. Where's my dog? Buddy Lee! Buddy Lee! There he is. So what I did see from some of the videos, so with a rabbit, you're going to have a much smaller loop that you're doing, but what they sometimes have is like a stabilizer stick for the snare. And I made these. Of course, that doesn't want to break open for me. So that, let me get a different one. So what I do is I can stick them into the ground next to the area that I want to place them, and then this will set in here, and then you have your loop for the rabbit to go through, and it's going to be small because the rabbit's heads are small, and I don't want to target other animals, so I need to make sure that when I place these sets, I'm not going to snag anything else. So I made a bunch of them for each snare, but I'll do this is it'll go in the ground and come in there, and then it's going to set kind of like this. I think is the way I want it to be, up more like that. So that what happens is when they put their head through, the stabilizer holds this from moving, and this tightens down. And see, it just tightens down, and it'll choke them. I'm shaking my head because it's frustrating. But the way this is set is when they relax and they don't pull, they quit pulling, it'll relax and it won't choke them. So if it's like a different kind of animal who gets caught into it in a different kind of, they won't react in the manner that it'll just snuff them out. The other thing that I've seen them do, which I might actually try with all the ones that I set, is they set a spring pole. So they take a thin branch from a tree and they'll pull that over, and they'll make a spring set so that when it triggers, when they snag here, it will actually release, and it'll swing back and it'll actually hang them, and then your animal's up, hanging up above. The reason for that is it will keep the animal off the ground from scavenging animals such as your foxes and coyotes, if it's up high enough to keep it off the ground so they can't get to them. And also it helps set this trap so it gets them hung. So anyway, like I said, I've never done these before, and I'm going to practice with it, and I'm going to learn how to do it so that I actually have that skill under my belt if ever I need it. So we'll see how well I do, and I'll let you know. Okay, so I set my first trap, and I forgot to bring, what do you call those? Baling wire, metal baling wire to tie my snare to a tree. So I used a carabiner instead, and let me show you that. So here's my carabiner, and I found a nice trail. You can see my stick for my stabilizer, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me try and get in there. There's the snare set. Oops, it fell down. I'm gonna have to fix that. It needs to be about 3 to 4 inches off. Oh my goodness, I gotta fix that. Anyways, it needs to be about 3 inches off the ground, and we want it wider open, so I gotta fix that set. It was fine when I left it there a minute ago. I must have jiggled it around when I was trying to put the carabiner in. But anyway, right down here is some rabbit poop. So there's evidence of this as being a rabbit trail. And then you see the dried berries, so you know they're coming in here to eat some of these dried berries. So there's a couple of trails, and I have to be really careful here where I'm at of where I put the set, because there are other animals that come through some of these trails. So I was trying to find the smallest trails that you're going to get nothing but small critters that come through them. And we can see the evidence of the rabbit, so we know the rabbit's coming through here. So I'm gonna readjust this. So I'm checking my camera, set up a trail cam, checking my traps. Been 4 days or so, and I haven't gotten anything, but I noticed on this trail here, you can see some fur. Dang it. I think I lost my critter. This might be my rabbit I caught. Sorry, I didn't show that right. So this is in the trail, and I look ahead, and you can see here, there's my carabiner. This was tied to a tree. You can see it is broken off. It was tied to this. Dang it. And here is more fur, and that is my snare. I lost my rabbit, guys. So the question is, darn it, where did I have this set, and where's my rabbit? Oh man. Darn it, you guys. I should have tied it to a stronger tree, I guess. Well, it doesn't matter because my rabbit still got 8. So now the question is, if I got more than one rabbit, that just confirms to me that it worked. I was worried that I wasn't setting these traps right. Darn it. That's the thing. I was checking every 2 days because I wasn't getting any results. And so I was figuring 2 days would be good. Oh man, let's go see what else we got. I gotta go find out where I have this marked for this set, and we'll see what else we have. There's some more fur at my site. See that? That's rabbit. I guarantee you it's a coyote that ate my rabbit. Dadgummit. Well, Well, poops. Okay. That's a rabbit fur, the gray one. So I'm coming around to this side because I reset my snare, and so this obviously was a good set. I'm gonna try it again, and the coyote dragged my snare, broke it off of, I think it was tied. Yeah, I believe it was tied over here, but apparently I didn't get it around the base of this tree. I got it on a different branch, and it was a weaker branch, and it literally broke that branch off, and he dragged it about 30 feet away. And I'm glad I was able to find this, because these are purchased snares, and although they're not too expensive, they are purchased snares, and heavier duty for coyotes and such. These are not really rabbit ones. I did some really thin wire ones. There's about 6 of them on these sets that aren't even tied very well. So if I get a rabbit on it, it'll hold a rabbit, but it will definitely go with the rabbit when the coyote decides to try and drag it off. So I'm sure it was a coyote who ate my rabbit. I'm sure of it. That really sucks. There went my dinner, but that's all right. I'll keep trying.